very good afternoon. You're watching Newsx and I'm Shivani Singh. We're looking at the top story that's coming in from Iran. At least 496 people have been killed in nearly 2 weeks of protests across Iran. Activists have said that as demonstrations continue despite an internet blackout and mass arrests, raising fears of a widening and more violent crackdown by the authorities. According to reports, the death toll was reported by the US-based human rights activist news agencies, which said that 496 of those killed were protesters and 48 were members of the security forces. The group also said that more than 10,600 people have been detained since the protests began. It relies on a network of sources inside Iran who cross-check information and has been considered reliable during previous such unrest. Joining us on the broadcast is Ambassador K.P. Fabian, former diplomat. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the broadcast. A very good morning to you. Ambassador, the situation in Iran is very concerning. We are seeing 496 people, innocent lives being lost, most of them protesters, and we are seeing over 10,000 people actually being arrested by the Iranian regime for protesting on the streets. Situation seems to be very dire over there.
Thank you. Good morning. Well, I was first secretary there in Iran 1976-79, having witnessed the 79 revolution at those quarters. The present uprising against Ayatollah Khamenei regime is very, very serious. It is widely spread, and as we can know, Iranians across a wide spectrum, students, business people, ordinary people, young and adult, are taking part in it. And the regime has responded with violence despite an effort on the part of President Pezeshkian to sort of, avoid violence and talk to the protesters. So that is one side of the story. You have mentioned the figures. These figures may be correct or not because information coming from Iran, cannot always be relied upon in the absence of foreign reporters, media there. Now, coming to what might happen, President Trump has more than once threatened to take action, military action. Well, my view is that any military action on the part of President Trump will be foolish and wrong and will have disastrous consequences. Now, that doesn't mean he will not take such action because, unfortunately these days we find that political leaders do take foolish actions. But should President Trump take such action, well, if the Iranian regime is in a poor state to respond, but it can still respond in a manner attacking Israel or more likely American troops in the region. But then what will happen is that there will be rivers of blood flowing and the regime will fall, of course, but then who takes over? Whenever we are dealing with an autocratic regime, it's not enough to bring it down. We have to think of what happens. What is the day after? Now, I am sorry to say, it is very difficult to believe that President Trump, with his track record, would have thought through all this.
Absolutely, sir. And when we are looking at the role of US, sir, in all of this, we hear US President Donald Trump actually talk about how the Iranian regime is trying to reach out to Donald Trump, but he says that by the time they arrange a meeting, it might just be too late and they might have to intervene in Iran, sir. So how do you look at that?
Well, the very words "it might be too late" means I have some plans, and I'm now talking on behalf of Trump. I have some plans, and I may have already initiated, those plans. So when you reach out to me, it can be too late. So let me put it this way. Trump said that the other day that Iranians are wanting freedom, and America is ready to help. It is absolutely clear to me that President Trump is not looking at promoting freedom in Iran. His aim is different. His aim is to have an Iran which is destabilized and even fragmented, with Kurds, with the Baluchis and others, fighting with each other, all to the benefit of Prime Minister Netanyahu. And I repeat, Netanyahu, not to the benefit of Israel proper.
Absolutely. In fact, if I could, just introduce this piece of information to our viewers, U.S. President